What's going on, everyone? I am the Kilted Cajun. Welcome back to my channel. And today, in this wonderful video, I bring you more Hogwarts Legacy because, well, that's what my channel is becoming, but maybe not. Who knows? We shall see. I'm loving the game. I'm streaming the game yesterday, today, probably some more tonight, tomorrow, and so on. Although I am thinking about checking out Atomic Heart because, hey, it's free on Xbox, so why the hell not? It'll be on Twitch. I digress. Kotaku, the bastion of unbiased journalism, brings us this wonderful gem, their quote-unquote review of Hogwarts Legacy. 15 hours with Hogwarts Legacy, magical surface, rotten core. The hell game are you playing? Surely this can't possibly be any sort of biased review. The Discourse, created by lunatics on Twitter and the lamestream Games media around the Harry Potter game has encompassed J.K. Rowling's rancid politics, that's opinions, and the role of criticism itself. Let's see. Caroline Petit. Petit? That's not petite. Petit. Hogwarts Legacy is here. It's been here for a couple of weeks, dear. What took you so long? Its arrival, surrounded by more brutal blasts of discourse created by the media. Then there are bursts of bat bogey hexes flying around the Slytherin common room. The conversation around the open-world action-adventure game, which is wholly positive as far as the players are concerned. Most people are ignoring trash websites like Kotaku and Polygon and giving the game a shot for themselves, watching morons like me or other more reputable and established game review sites. Game review YouTube channel, not the sites. They have no reputation, except poor. And seeing what they have to say, going out and playing the game. On the first day of early release, early access, they had 1.3 million people just watching the game being played on Twitch. But you're trying to tell me that there's nothing but discourse surrounding the game. You have your Kotaku, you have your head so far up your ass, you can check your fillings. The conversation around the open-world action-adventure game, which seeks to provide players with the immersive fantasy of actually attending the storied school of magic where the Harry Potter universe largely stems from the fact that the universe's creator, J.K. Rowling, is a virulent transphobe. Please show proof. Using the platform afforded her by her fame and wealth to normalize the othering. Prove it again. So many baseless claims I see just being thrown out left and right with zero information to back it up. It used to be where you make claims regardless of what they are. You would make a claim and people would come out and go, okay, where's your proof? And you would provide the proof and people would look over it and form their own opinion. Now you can just throw out these baseless bullshit, for lack of a better term. It is Kotaku, so it's nothing but bullshit coming from them. Anti-trans sentiment, legislation, and violence with zero proof of any of that. It's a wonderful thing. It's a great time to be alive. J.K. Rowling, a virulent transphobe, using the platform, blah, 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 and contributing prominently to a culture in which anti-trans... I said that. However, the conversation doesn't start and end there, as game sites and critics have struggled to navigate how to cover the game. I don't understand why. You just cover the game. Stop talking about Rowling, because the more you talk about her, the more power you give her, I guess? If you don't want to talk about her, don't talk about her. Talk about the game. Talk about the mechanics, the writing, the voice acting. But heaven forbid, Kotaku, you actually do your job. That's why tiny little channels like mine gain traction. That's why independent content creators gain so much traction when it comes to reviewing different parts of the entertainment industry, whether it is television, movies, comic books, anime, manga, video games. People are turning more and more to the independents and just breaking off from sites like Kotaku and Polygon. Some have argued that the right way to cover Hogwarts Legacy is not to cover it at all. Yeah, because God forbid you do your job. I respect this viewpoint because you're an idiot, but I don't share it. Okay. So you're going to review it with an unbiased eye. Let's check this out. I think that the cultural impact of the game is so vast. It's a video game. How could a video game have a cultural impact? People are enjoying the game. They're streaming it. They're playing it. They're talking about it with their fans. This game is bringing children who are old enough to play the game and boomers, 40, 50 years old, who watched the movies and read the books with their kids and their grandkids. They're bringing all these people together. So how can you possibly have anything negative to say about it? I bet you're going to try. I think that the cultural impact of the game is so vast and the issues swirling around it so important, only because you are spinning everything around it, that it demands thoughtful, critical engagement. No, just review the game. And that requires playing the game. Oh my God, heaven forbid you do your job. You're a video game review website. Oh my goodness. This is unheard of, a video game review website reviewing a video game. The most popular and will probably go down as the #1. Yes, I know we're only halfway through February, almost over in February. Got a week left at the time of this recording. But I'd be willing to bet Hogwarts Legacy will stay #1, especially after it's released on last gen and Nintendo Switch. It will top the charts for the rest of the year. I do look forward. I mean, hell, if something dethrones it from the #1 spot as far as sales and reception, I look forward to that game. I would love to play it. Harry Potter and me. Before I get into the game itself, I want to be clear about my relationship. Don't care. That is irrelevant information. You read the books. So did half the frickin' planet, if not more, based on percentages. Everyone read the Harry Potter books. Not just when they came out. There are generations, brand new generations reading this book. One of my tiny clones, my little minions, is reading the book. And she loves it. Absolutely. I am oh, here we go. Oh, God. I am trans. Who cares? This is irrelevant when it comes to reviews. Should I sit there and go and talk about what I like to do in the privacy of my own home, how I like to dress, who I like to go to bed with? Is that relevant to absolutely anything on my channel? No! So why on earth does anyone think this little bit of information right here makes it relevant at all? Just review the game. I'm going off on so much. This is going to be labeled a rant because it just... I understand the appeal of the game like Hogwarts Legacy, the chance to step into an immersively detailed recreation of a place one loves from books and films and craft your own compelling story by attending classes, making friends, learning spells, getting into mischief, visiting Hogsmeade, which is actually kind of fun. I'm running around there just casting Revelio all day long, every 5 seconds. Exploring the castle, which I got lost in over and over again, and finding yourself at the heart of a conflict that threatens the wizarding world. As a player and a critic, I approach all of that with an open mind. I'm calling you a liar on that one. At the same time, I'm not a diehard fan. You don't have to be a diehard fan. You just have to enjoy video games, for crying out loud. I remember the broad strokes of the narrative, the series narrative. I've forgotten much. Okay. Can we get into the review here? Backstory. I'm not here to judge how well Hogwarts Legacy crams in bits of fan service. Why not? It's part of the game. It's important. Lastly, this is not a review. What? Oh, like a number of other outlets, we weren't furnished with an early code. Oh no, you had to buy it yourself, like every other goddamn channel out there. We weren't furnished with an early code in what I can only assume was an effort to ensure that early reactions to the game would be mostly positive. How about mostly unbiased? When your page, when your website comes out over and over and over, one article after another, just denigrating the entire game without even playing it, talking about how bad it is, putting up an article after Hogwarts Legacy gets released, talking about just go play Elden Ring. There's a mod for Elden Ring. Fuck off. I'm so tired of this just garbage. Enrolling at Hogwarts. The first thing you do in Hogwarts Legacy is create and name your characters. Cool. Just like every other open world RPG style game. So I created just the person I'd want to be if I were a British youngster. Blah, 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 blah. Wait a minute. I'm confused. Hold on. Let's go back up to the top. What's your name? Carolyn. Okay, Carolyn, if you're... I'm confused. If that's... Okay, that's fine. What's your name? The game, to its credit, isn't the least bit restrictive about gender presentation or identity. That's correct. And yet, your community doesn't like it. They speak out against it. There's representation of all manner in this game. Combine the characters' offerings of body types, hairstyle, voices, and so on, any which way you like, without it limiting whether you ultimately tell the game you're a witch or a wizard. Cool. Open-ended character creation is always fantastic. Games, just do it. All of them, just do it. Blah, blah, blah. And interesting, whatever you choose, when other characters refer to you in the third person, they do. So I just assume characters refer to me by my character's name. Oh wait, you can't do that. Crap. It's a voice-acted game. After a bit of misadventures that works as a tutorial and suggests that you may be a Hogwarts student with rare and remarkable gifts. Try to contain your shock. Well, it's a video game. You're the protagonist. You are the hero of the story. Try to contain your shock. Get away. You arrive at the titular school, and it makes a grand first impression. Yes, it does. Okay, conventional combat in magical garb. Let's see what they have to say. I'm going to say they. I know Carolyn is a woman's name, but hey, I don't want to judge. Carolyn is trans, so I will use they, them pronouns. Indeed, Hogwarts Legacy makes a great first impression. Oh, a compliment! We have a compliment, ladies and gentlemen. The atmospheric detail in its world is wonderful. Ooh, oh boy. However, across the remainder of my time with the game, the growing feeling crept in that underneath that layer of magic and whimsy were the bones of a decent but very conventional open world game. Oh, you just couldn't help yourself. In combat, for instance, a flash of gold around your head means an enemy is about to strike with a blockable attack. Yeah? So you'd best block or at just the right moment. Yeah, just like a lot of games that warn you when an incoming attack is there. It's called telegraphing. Games do that. Hey, guess what? Kotaku, Elden Ring does that. Meanwhile, a flash of crimson means an unblockable attack is inbound. Okay, so you'd best dodge roll out of the way, like a typical third-person action hero. It feels a good deal like the combat in so many games these days. Everything from Arkham Asylum to God of War Ragnarok, though not nearly. Okay. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Your primary means of damage is doing your basic cast. Yep. Let's see. What else we got? Whoop. It's not bad, but it's also not special. Nobody's looking for special gameplay mechanics. Personally, I think the magical combat is fantastic, but I guess you don't think the same way. Compelling story might also have helped me stay enchanted, but that too is quite ordinary and forgettable. Really? What are you paying attention to? I've run into mostly the side quests. A lot of the side quests are rather interesting. I'm not going to go into any spoilers, but I genuinely find the story interesting, engaging, which is why I'm still playing the game, which is why I'm going to be streaming it more and more this week, next week, until I beat it. Initially, I'd hoped that I might be in for a real tale of friendship and self-discovery. Yeah? Okay. What are you missing? You only played it for 15 hours. There's something rotten at Hogwarts. Okay. Let's see what this is all about. Right around the 15-hour mark, I have my first experience riding a... Oh, I'm jealous. I'm 21 hours in, and I don't have a hippogriff yet. A friend and I rescued 2 of them from poachers, and as we were making our escape from their vile clutches, soaring atop the magical creatures, the Hogwarts Express winds its way across the countryside below, far below. Yep, that was cool. It's an exhilarating and memorable moment viewing the wizard. Well, I guess I just got a spoiler from the article. Oh well. Viewing the wizarding world from afar with all those messy complications neatly out of sight. You see? You're adding your own personal bias, like real world bullshit, into a video game. Review the game for the game. Why is that difficult? The good news. The bad guys are bad. The good guys are good, and the train chugs by beneath us. The perfect, picturesque little detail. Oh boy. Oh, for the love of God. But the reality is that in Rowling's world, and by extension in Hogwarts Legacy, things aren't nearly so clear cut. Oh, is this going to be good? It's not inherently a bad thing. I like some moral ambiguity in my art, but the art has to engage with that ambiguity. Oh, God! I'm getting tongue twisted. How y'all liking that? When Hogwarts Legacy does, thus far anyway, is present a world filled with moral horrors and contradictions, but then sort of shrugs its shoulders and says, this is just the way things are. Yes, because that's the way things were at the time this book was, this movie, oh my Lord. At the time this game was taking place, that's what the world was like. You may see a house elf tirelessly scrubbing the floor as you head to class, and as you get near, he'll disappear in a world of magic, not wanting you, the all-important human wizard, to concern yourself with the toil of this lowly, insignificant being who works to maintain your immaculate surroundings. Wow, that sounds like you are putting your own ideas and ideals into a work of fiction. That's a you problem, not a game problem. Perhaps even more glaring for me is the way the game navigates goblins, because they are the bad guys in this. This little argument, it seems, about the fact that goblins are not treated equals by wizards. Yes, because that's part of the history of Hogwarts Legacy. It's part of the history. There was an uprising, there was a revolution by the goblins who got tired of this, that, or the other, and this strikes me as inherently bad. Why? It's a video game. It's not real. Does everyone understand this? I think that's something that's like absolutely lost on a lot of these pretentious virtue signaling reviewers, websites, or whatever. This is a work of fiction. It is not real. It is not based in anything, any part of reality outside of it taking place in old world UK. That's it. The people aren't real. For fuck's sake, magic isn't real. Goblins aren't real. Orcs aren't real. Dark elves aren't real. Stop putting your real world ideology into a work of fucking fiction. Ha! One of the game's main antagonists, the goblin named Ranrock, agrees with me. What? Yes, because he's the bad guy and he's trying to kill everybody. He's not looking for peace. He's looking for murder. However, his problem is that he, quote, goes too far. Yes, resorting to violence in his pursuit of goblins' liberation. No, he resorts to murder, not violence, murder. He doesn't go beating people up. He doesn't go attacking wizards and leaving them, with a twisted ankle on the ground. He kills them. Kills them. Murder. This is such a common tactic for films and games to use. Yes, because it works. It works. The players want someone to fight against. That is the basic concept of a video game. Player plays the game to achieve something. In order to achieve something, you have to defeat something. In the video game, it's a bunch of little pixels with a good story and action behind it. They create a villain who has reasonable objections to a shitty status quo. But they resort to violence in their effort to change things so that the heroes can then work to protect the shitty status quo under the guise of stopping the villain. Heaven forbid you be unbiased. We, as viewers or players, can feel good about it, and the problem with the status quo are never addressed. You want to know what? I feel great. I go out of my way to defeat every single bandit camp that I come into contact with, every single goblin that I come into contact with, every single one that is associated with Ranrock. I'm at a point in the game where I'm firmly believe that the goblin I'm working with, he's going to betray me. Because it's just one of those cliches in the game. Someone you think you can trust is going to betray you. But why is that a difficult thing? It's the basics of a goddamn story. Oh, him. Oh, Lord have mercy. Early in Hogwarts Legacy, I met a goblin named Arnd. Oh, he was nice. I bought stuff from him. Whose carts have been stolen by Ranrock's loyalists after they peg him as the goblin who's not sympathetic enough to the cause. Yep, he functions as a kind of mouthpiece for the game's awful moral stance. He says, many of us would like a diplomatic end to the discord with wizard kind. Yeah, I'm sure they would. Unfortunately, a son of a bitch like Ranrock just wants to kill everybody. It's part of the game. It's part of the story. I know I'm repeating myself, but Lord have mercy. It seems like that's a foreign concept to some of these review sites. Huh. And while I don't think violence is generally the way for oppressed groups to seek liberation, I also know that asking nicely definitely isn't. That power concedes nothing without a demand. So, how exactly would you accomplish this in a video game setting? You have someone, the antagonist, who is trying to kill everyone. He wants that power. How would you go about talking him down as far as game mechanics goes? It's Rowling's world, we're just living in it. Oh my goodness, what is this part? A world where protecting the status quo is noble, where a black magical cop is called Kingsley Shacklebolt. Really? Where maybe one house elf every now and then can get her freedom as a treat. But where the real bad guys are the goblins or trance. Oh my god. I am done with this moronic shit. Huh. How can you call yourself a video game review website when you put out complete and utter drivel like this? Where is it? Don't play Hogwarts Legacy, or don't want to play Hogwarts Legacy? You just can't help yourself. You are so far on one side of the ideological fence that you cannot do anything without a bias. It is pathetic. It's embarrassing, actually. People used to go to Kotaku for actual game reviews, and now it's just one biased opinion after another. If you don't want to play Hogwarts Legacy, there's an Elden Ring mod for that. Not quite as bad as the Mary Sue, but it wouldn't surprise me if they get there eventually. But that's all I'm going to say about this. I can't believe I read most of that article. One bullshit line after another. But that's all I've got. Tell me what you think in the comments. Leave a like, leave a dislike. I appreciate you making this far. Hope to see you on the next one. Have a good one. See you in Hogwarts.